Hello, hi, how are you today? Welcome to my channel. I help people with their integration, healing, using the brand new light body. In this video, I want to talk to you about mental health and the war and other worldly events that are happening. Now, this stuff that's happening, it's affecting a lot of people. It's polarizing people. People are feeling forced to take sides. I want to encourage you, try to visualize a much better outcome for one. But what we're up against, and these are parts of the really, really deep root areas of us, are mentalities. What we've had to endure, what our ancestors endured or dealt with, how they coped, and how it's affected the mind. And that's where mental health comes in. The mental health of us does get affected from the outside in, but we can have an influence from the inside out. So how do you stop the war inside? In other words, how do you stop the feelings of agitation? Feeling like somehow you need your voice to be heard too? How do you feel when you saying, this is giving me anxiety and I'm distracted by it every single day and yet nothing's changing? I don't know what's going to happen. What if you have children and you're worried about them being called up to go off to some other place to go, do the bidding of their superiors, go help, fight, whatever. Okay, so there is a thing happening. From those very deep root areas, we are getting rid of war mentalities, retaliation, all of the dualistic things of the mind, the things that the ego has had to implement in order to protect the self. We're going to give back. We're going to get revenge. Meanwhile, having a heightened sense of anxiety, nervousness, distrust, not trusting leaders. How do you deal with this? Well, while this may be feeling like all we simply need is a course correction, it has to start at the individual level, even while you're feeling affected by the human collective. Believe it or not, this is also sides of the masculine mind, and I'm not calling out men. What I'm pointing out is that masculine side has usually been the action. What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? How are we going to do it? And these mentalities are in place as a part of duality. If this happens, then we do this. If this happens, then we do this. And there's no aftercare plan. There's no rebuilding plan. We're going to throw money at it. In other words, these things have been left to simmer until it becomes a crisis. And that's another mentality, crisis mentality. We're going to let things simmer and not notice it and pretend and hide it away until it blows up. Well, it's blowing up because to use the word sustain in a proper way, those old ways are not sustainable. We already tried it in the 1970s. I mean, we're talking 50, 60 years ago and beyond, centuries ago, of when these things started and the same things were done and the same things were done. And that's the insanity of karma. So, how is this affecting your mental health? Well, first of all, in the atmosphere, it's in the atmosphere. It's on the media, which is blowing it and exaggerating it way out of proportion. And they're not helping. The media sends in people, and sometimes you can even see people that they're filming saying, please help me. They're stranded in a flood and they're on the top of their roof and there they are with a helicopter. And I'm saying to myself, how is it that some people can get in and out and no help is coming? Why is there no help after that? We had a huge hurricane here years ago, and there's still people living in FEMA trailers. Why is that? Why is it? Well, culturally, it's because some people have felt so beaten down, so without a voice, so without power, that it's gone unnoticed because everyone's on to the next thing. But the problem is people are carrying their state of mental well-being, of emotional well-being, they're carrying it into their workplaces, into their schools, into their families. They're not doing their part to get rid of those feelings, those emotions, those thoughts of what am I going to do? Or if only, okay? The first things people have to do is turn that mirror around, look at themselves and really notice and acknowledge, I'm feeling this, now what can I do? These are the things that I help people with in my 4-zone healing modality, because this section, which holds a lot of the glands that give signals for things like hormones, reactions, reactive behavior, addictive behavior, these are all a part of it, from the root to the crown. So how do we do this? You know what we do? I have a modality that helps people swap that all out in a very short period of time and integrate the new connections that then inspire them through the heart, from the heart to the mind, to do what they need to do. It could be something small. It could be simply, I no longer need to do those old coping things, such as drinking, drugging, picking a fight with someone. Sometimes people see a fight out there and it agitates them so much it needs to get off this area of the body, and those people will pick a fight. They road rage. They pick on the cashiers. They pick on the baristas. They antagonize the police intentionally, not as the result of something. They are walking around with a chip on their shoulder, and that's not healthy. People think it's healthy to have emotions of anger or jealousy or envy. They'll say, well, if I love you, don't you think I should be jealous? No. Because jealousy is an insecurity. When people love each other, they feel that trust. Now, this modality that I have, leads to emotional intimacy with people. First and foremost, for lovers, also with family, also with children, where it creates a heart level, up-leveled of trust, confidence, reliability, accountability. The moral compass needs to swing, but we do this through our body because we are literally at the point of dredging out all these criminal mentalities, anger mentalities, war mentalities. It needs to stop at some point, and it stops with us that are awakened and activated. We are ascending. Other people will follow in our energetic lead. And so this is a part of how you stop it. If you're interested, I have classes that I run on this. Please check it out, like and subscribe to my videos, where we'll be talking much more about how to heal this stuff. We do this through the light body, which doesn't want to hold or carry it. You're enabled to feel it, and you're not going to store it up, never again. Along with this, when people fight afterward, they will have what I call the drop down. They drop and they get exhausted because it's really exhausting to fight with people. Doesn't matter if it's a verbal fight, an argument, family tension, if it's people bottling it up, if it's an actual fist fight or anything else, at some point people will drop and then they have a meltdown. And those meltdowns can also be pretty ugly. So I encourage you, be one of the people that gets on board with their own ascension and try the 4-zone healing modality. Bye now.